Okay, earlier this week, we investigated a stabbing incident. I think I saw some inquiries from some of you in reference to this investigation, and my goal was to sit down and meet with the mother first prior to releasing any information in reference to this investigation. So what occurred was on May 24th at approximately 8:25 p.m. Several Daytona Beach police officers were dispatched to an address on Imperial Drive in reference to a stabbing. Upon arrival, there was a 17-year-old juvenile female who suffered from multiple stab wounds. We got very little information as far as the motive at that specific time, but they all were pointing in a specific direction as to which way the suspect fled from the scene. We're still unclear as to the exact relationship between the victim and the suspect, but our suspect was a 17-year-old or 16-year-old male by the name of Aaron Moten, who fled from the scene on foot. We were able to deploy a canine, and we end up locating Moten in the backyard of a residence on Continental Drive. We were able to take him into custody, and we could tell from our initial contact with him that he appeared to be under the influence of some form of substance, just based on our interaction with him. So we were able to call evac for him, and he was eventually transported to Halifax Hospital. At some point, he lost consciousness, and in the early morning hours, the decision was made to transfer him to Arnold Palmer over in Orlando, and unfortunately, he ended up passing away in transport. So the autopsy was conducted on yesterday, and it's still unclear. We won't know exactly what caused his death until we get that report back from the ME's office. But there were no signs of foul play. Based on what I've been able to review, there was basically no use of force. I was actually very proud of our response because we did have the canine deployed. The canine did not apprehend him whatsoever. They were able to quickly ascertain that he was on some type of substance which was causing his erratic behavior. So they took, the precautions that were necessary to get him into custody with basically zero use of force. So I'm very proud of the organization for how they handled this young man, but unfortunately he did end up passing away several hours later while in custody of the hospital. So that's where we're at on that incident.